Good afternoon, everyone, on this cold December day. It's often when I look at the date, I'm like, how did we get this far? And then the weather outside seems like we're in mid-January, so it's a very rough time of the year for this early. Of course, be very careful, be very mindful of the weather as we move forward. It looks like we're going to have some difficult weather, especially from the northwest to the southeast across our state as we move forward through the night. So, as I know many of you do, the weatherman is either our dear friend or maybe somebody we really regret to hear from at the end of the day. But again, we just want to make sure everyone's safe and careful. And again, welcome to our our December Superintendent's Webcast. Next slide, please. On the agenda for today, we do have Jennifer Ginn. We'll be giving you some our updates here from grant information, but also Steve Lyles out of the Office of Finance and Operations will be talking with you about school district certified employee liability insurance. Next, we'll have the emergency today waiver process from the Office of Finance and Operations, Ms. Rhonda Devine. And in the Lauren Moore from our, again, from Office of Finance and Operations, who seems to be a very common group today, is going to be talking about school and community nutrition and the unanticipated school building closure. And then at the end, Miss Ashley Gates will talk to you about a competition I think we're going to be doing at the STLP conference this year as a part of that work. You've seen some of our commercials and some of our billboards on You Belong and Attendance Matters. We're having a video and poster contest as part of the STLP competition this year. Of course, we'll close with question and answers and also with some important dates. Our next slide, please. Next slide, please. It is December, and it is that time of year for us to have our nominations are now open for the 2027 Kentucky Teacher of the Year. Again, this is a great time of year for you to have that opportunity to nominate those teachers. We've had back in October, we had our presentation for the 2026 Kentucky Teacher of the Year people, and it's always a great time for me. But anyway, some background. Any full-time certified public school teacher in the state with at least 5 years of experience is eligible, and teachers may be nominated by students, parents, teaching peers, principals, superintendents, or anyone in the community who has an interest in honoring an outstanding educator. Again, you need to fill out the 2027 Kentucky Teacher of the Year nomination form to nominate a teacher today, and the nominations do close on January 2nd. If you want more information, we do have a link there that you can follow to see more about the application process. Next slide, please. Congratulations to our vice chair here at the Kentucky Board of Education, Dr. Lou Young. She was named to the NASB, the National Association of State Boards of Education, Board of Directors. And it is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that elevates state board members' voices in national and state policymaking. We are an active member. We've had others to win awards with a part of this. As a matter of fact, our student representative, Mr. Preston Graham, won the Student Voice Award for this group. But also, too, Dr. Young will serve as a NASB Southern Area Director for a 2-year term. She was appointed originally by Governor Beshear to the Kentucky Board of Education in December 2019, where she has also served a term as chair. As you can read, as many of us know across the state, she is a former superintendent, I think in Jessamine County. She's worked in Fayette County, but you can also see some other work that she's accomplished as being a part of the Kentucky Board of Education. So congratulations to Dr. Young on being named to the NASB Board of Directors. Next slide, please. I want to congratulate 4 Kentucky elementary schools who met the criteria to be named National Blue Ribbon Schools by the U.S. Department of Education, and they were recognized at the Kentucky Board of Education on December 4th. The program was eliminated at the U.S. Ed level, but right before it was eliminated, these 4 schools had gone through the process of all the work that was added, a part of that. And to be a part of this National Blue Ribbon School, you're recognized based on all your testing data on all student scores, subgroup student scores, and graduation rates. Kentucky's 4 schools met the criteria to qualify as exemplary, high-performing schools. And we'd like to congratulate Superintendent Broughton in Davis County for Tamarack Elementary School, Also, congratulations to Superintendent Matting at Graves County Elementary School. And then also to Superintendent Demetrius Liggins for Maxwell Immersion Spanish Elementary School in Fayette County, and also Meadowthorpe Elementary School, also in Fayette County. We want to again congratulate these 4 schools, and even though it was closed down, we felt like the work and the time that they put into this application process, they thoroughly deserve the recognition. We also want to take the opportunity to thank Governor Beshear for doing a proclamation on behalf of these 4 schools and for their recognition of their accomplishments. So again, congratulations, Superintendent Broughton, Superintendent Matting, and Superintendent Liggins, and your elementary schools here in the state. Next slide, please. Another important tool that we use here in Kentucky is the impact survey. We want to congratulate Superintendent Amanda Abel. Caverna Independent was the very first district to reach 100% completion. So far, we do have more than 50% completion statewide. And as a reminder, the window does close on December 19th. If you have any questions, more than welcome to contact Ellie Gilbert here at the department. Next slide, please. I will now turn it over to Jennifer again for our updates. If she still has her voice, I hope she does. If not, we do have a backup plan, I believe, but our Director of Communications, Jennifer Ginn.
We do. Thank you, Commissioner. Sorry, my voice is a little strange. The cold everybody's been getting has finally caught up to me. We have competitive grants. First off, the FY26 21st Century Community Learning Center grant. Applications are due January 20th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The award is $150,000 per year for up to 3 years. No matching fund requirements. The program offers academic, artistic, and cultural enrichment opportunities for students attending high poverty and low performing schools, helping them meet challenging state academic standards through effective out-of-school programs that improve student achievement and social development. And our second one is the FY26 Math Achievement Fund Middle School Coaching Pilot Grant. Those applications are due January 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Awards are $62,000 per year for up to 2 years, and there is a matching fund requirement. The pilot grant will provide developmentally appropriate diagnostic assessment and intervention services to students to help them reach proficiency in mathematics. The mathematics coach will improve mathematics teaching by working with teachers of grades 6 to 8 in their classrooms. As usual, applicants are responsible for monitoring KDE's competitive grants webpage for amendments and updates to the posted RFAs and supporting materials. We have a link to it here in your slides. You can also email Jennifer Bryant. Just wanted to do a shout out for the Kentucky Department of Ag and one of their programs that they have going on. Kentucky students encouraged to apply for the 2026 Kentucky Ag Athletes of the Year. Kentucky student athletes who are involved in agriculture are invited to apply for one of 6 scholarships in recognition as 2026 Kentucky Ag Athlete of the Year. It's a partnership of the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky Department of Ag. To qualify, student athletes must be involved in Kentucky agriculture, must participate in one or more KHSAA sport or sport activities during the 25-26 school year. They must be graduating seniors in high school, and they must be accepted to a college, university, or trade school following graduation. 2 student athletes, 1 male, 1 female, will be named Outstanding Kentucky Ag Athletes of the Year, and they get a $2,000 scholarship. 4 student athletes, 2 males and 2 females, receive $1,000 scholarships as Kentucky Ag Athletes of the Year. Student athletes must play online by December 31, which is coming up remarkably soon. To apply, go to the link in this PowerPoint slide. Up next, we have Steve Lyles. Are you with us?
Had to get my mic on. Yes, ma'am.
All righty.
All right. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about certified employee liability insurance. And it's been around for about a year. These requirements were put in during the 2023 session. So next slide, please. And the three items we're going to go over are 2 KRSs and one regulation dealing with liability insurance. And so we'll touch on each of these in the next few minutes. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, the 2023 General Assembly provided some information and direction on how they wanted liability insurance to go in Kentucky schools. And so KRS 160-105 says that the Kentucky Board of Education shall, and the number 2 on that deals with school insurance. And so we are to provide each certified employee of the district with primary liability insurance coverage for an amount not less than $1 million for the protection of the employee from liability arising in the course and scope of pursuing the duties of employment. So as you will notice over these next 2 or 3 slides, the language is very similar, but it's contained in 3 different places. So next slide, please. 702 KAR is the regulation that was developed out of the statutes 330, and in section 1 it talks about beginning with the school year last year. Each school district shall provide each certified district employee with primary liability insurance coverage in the amount not less than $1 million for the protection of the employee from liability arising in the course and scope of pursuing the duties of his or her employment. Next slide, please. And again, very similar language, but in a different place. KRS 161-212 says that the Educators Employment Liability Insurance Program is established in Kentucky for the purpose of providing educators employment liability insurance to protect all certified employees of Kentucky public schools from liability for judgments or settlements that are in excess of the coverage provided in the KRS listed there. Next slide, please. And then lastly, KRS 161-212 states that the department shall contract with an insurance agency or broker to provide the excess liability coverage of not less than $1 million per occurrence and $3 million in aggregate for each certified employee. And if you notice the bullet at the bottom, KDE, in the meantime, has entered into a contract with the assured partners for that excess liability coverage. Next slide, please. Again, in section 2 of 702 KAR 3330, I recently sent out a survey to finance officers, and I've got 170 responses, and so I'm waiting on one more due to precarious circumstances. But the survey was consisted of these bullets that we see here. So the department is going to ask for this information annually, and the name of the district's insurance carrier providing the primary liability insurance coverage for the certified employees arising in the course and scope of their employment. And the second question was verification that the amount of the liability coverage provided to each certified employee is at least the $1 million. And then third, the number of certified employees under the district's primary liability insurance policy. And D, if there are any changes from the previous year. And then the last one, if the district has excess liability insurance to the primary liability insurance for certified employees, they were to tell us the name of the carrier and the amount of excess coverage. So like I said, we captured this through a survey this year, and years following, our goal is to have it part of the annual district financial audit. Next slide, please. And then 702 KAR 3330 section 2 provides in number 2, the school district shall notify the Department of Education if the district's primary liability insurance policy that provides coverage to certified employees is canceled during the policy term. And if it is canceled, the district shall procure alternative liability insurance coverage for each certified employee and shall notify KDE of the terms of the replacement, and including the name of the carrier and the amount of coverage and the number of employees covered under the policy. And if you have questions on any of these, And out of the 170 surveys that I've received thus far, everyone tells us that they have this coverage, so that's a good thing. But if you have questions, there's my email below, and feel free to ask me. And that's all I have. And if you have questions, please put those in the Q&A section of the Teams conference today, and we'll be glad to answer those for you.
Thank you, Steve. And this slide you can see here is his contact information as well. Should be in the slides that you received yesterday. All right, next up we have Rhonda Devine talking about the emergency day waiver process. Are you with us?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Next slide, please. So we are going to look at calendar types and how an emergency waiver works with each type of calendar. We're also going to talk about the 5 emergency hours for shortened school days, 2 types of emergency day waivers, NTI days, attendance credit and funding, and the process a district would use when they submit an emergency waiver to the commissioner. Next slide, please. The KRS 158-070 gives details about both calendars. And so there's the traditional calendar and also the variable. The emergency day waivers are used to give school day credit during emergencies to ensure districts meet the minimum requirements for school calendars. The traditional calendar requires districts have a minimum of 170 school days. It also requires districts to meet the 1,062 hours of instruction. Emergency waivers are used to waive attendance and instruction on those days, and it gives credit for the days and the times for that calendar. Funding is based on attendance, so no attendance funding is actually given on those days. The 2 types of calendars work a little bit differently. The variable calendar only requires that districts meet the 1,062 hours of instruction, with a maximum school day of the 7 hours is as long as the day can be for the school day. The day requirement is not necessary for a variable calendar, and there's a waiver, so it waives the 170. You just have to reach the 1,062. So this gives, if you use an emergency waiver and you have a variable calendar, then it will waive that instructional time for that day. Next slide, please. Shortened school days, they do not require an emergency waiver, and they are for districts. You get up to 5 emergency hours used for any shortened day due to a weather event. So that would either be an early release or a late start. DPPs will work with the field staff to amend the calendars to make sure they receive those 5 hours. And they can be used for inclement weather. Next slide, please. So we're going to talk about the 2 types of emergency day waivers. There's a district-wide emergency day waiver, and then the one that we see a lot is if it's just part of a district. So we'll look at both of those. Next slide, please. So the waiver type, this is for a district-wide emergency. If there's an extreme emergency event that's affected the entire district. An example of this might be a snowstorm or tornado or area flooding. Districts would miss more than 20 days before this type of waiver could be used. And once the district makes up the 20 days, the rest of those days can be waived by the commissioner. So SEEK looks at those days of attendance, and that's why we have districts make the first 20. Next slide, please. So the most common type of emergency waiver that I see is the one where one school or more than one school in a district experiences an unforeseen event or an emergency. And so this is for normally if we have a pipe burst in a school or maybe electricity goes out in part of a district. The district will have a slightly lower ADA for the day of the emergency since one school or more than one school is not having attendance. The SEEK formula is based on attendance, so there will not be any on those days or day of the emergency in that school. This will help the requirement for the 170 days for a traditional calendar or for the 1,062 hours of instruction. So you'll get the credit for the time and the day, but you won't receive any attendance funding. Next slide, please. Non-traditional days can be used when an entire district is closed due to health or safety reasons. The district must have an approved instructional plan that was approved by the commissioner, and we keep that on file at KDE. The commissioner may grant up to 10 NTI days. And on those days for funding, we replace that attendance with full ADA from last year. So whatever your full ADA was, and you can find that on your SAR attendance summary report, that is the amount that will be plugged in for each NTI day. An example that we've been using, last year's full ADA for a district was 284.27. So they had 10 NTI days, so that 284.27 will be plugged in each of the 10 NTI days. Next slide, please. The SAR calculation will use the instructional days in the school calendar. So the denominator stays the same, even though there was an emergency at the school or in a district. This will only slightly affect a district that misses a day or two in one school, but would have an impact on a district that misses over 20 days, since we SEEK pays for the actual attendance when a child is in school. Next slide, please. And how the emergency day waiver process works, a letter should be sent on letterhead with the date or dates of the emergency, the school or schools affected by the emergency, and the letter signed by the superintendent. If there are any other documents, letters, or information from a utility company or other authorities, you can enclose that along with a copy of the approved board minutes. You can send that in an email, or you can also send it in the mail, and that would go to the commissioner's office with attention to Sherry House. And then you can also copy me as well so that it gives me to know to expect it. And we keep track of that in our office to make sure that on the amended calendars that everything is correct. And that's all that I had for today. And then I've included my contact information, and also we'll be checking the Q&A if you have any other questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rhonda. Coming up next is Lauren Moore talking about school and community nutrition, unanticipated school building closure. Are you with us, Lauren?
I am. Thank you, Jen. Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to take this opportunity to remind everyone of existing options for feeding students in the event of an unanticipated building closure. These are options only. I know there are a lot of considerations when deciding whether to utilize these options: community need, safety, inventory, financial situations, among others. Next slide, please. Unanticipated school building closure refers to a variety of situations that would cause you to close your school buildings, although a weather event is the most common. Although school meal programs must be provided in a congregate setting, there is a waiver available from the USDA that allows state agencies to approve non-congregate feeding in certain circumstances and when certain requirements are met. The provision of non-congregate meals must be approved by SCN in advance of meal service, and we can approve up to 10 days for a unique occurrence or situation. If you need more than 10 days, we must work with USDA. They can approve more than 10 days. We just have to work with them in order to do that. The child nutrition program to be administered depends on whether you are operating non-traditional instruction or if you have a building closure with no instruction occurring. I know this can be challenging, and you could possibly have an event where you use a combination of NTI and true closure, and we can work with you and your food service directors if this occurs. We just need them to contact us so we can help them work through that situation, ensure that they have the appropriate procedures in place, and that we can provide the necessary approvals. Next slide, please. I'm a visual person, so this slide helps me outline what program is used in each situation. This tells you who can be fed and what rate is claimed. So this is a good thing just to keep on hand when in case you have a situation where you would need to use one of these options. Next slide, please. We have developed resources to assist with the process of operating child nutrition programs during unanticipated school closure. The KDE website under School and Community Nutrition includes a guidance document with more details. This was shared in the Commissioner's weekly message on December 5th and has been shared numerous times with your food service directors. SCN staff conducted a webinar last month in November, and there's actually one happening right now that's being recorded. It's a repeat of what occurred last month. I will share a link to the recorded webinar in case some weren't able to attend or for future use. I know sometimes when we have a situation, we need just-in-time information. Next slide, please. And this slide just gives contact information. Of course, you can always contact me, but Katie Embry is our school meal programs branch manager, and Kathy Gallagher works with our summer food service program, and either of these programs may possibly be used in the event of a closure. And that is all I have. I'll be available for questions if any arise.
Thank you, Lauren, for joining us. And up next is the one that I'm really excited about because I've been involved some of this. You Belong KY Attendance Matters statewide video and poster contest. Ashley, take it away.
Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. So my name is Ashley Gates, and I serve as a persistence to graduation consultant within KDE's Division of Student Success. And so came on board and really excited to share with you the opportunity that we have to bring together belonging, attendance, and elevate our student voice in a really powerful way. Next slide, please. So I'm going to stay on this slide for a little bit and just give you all a brief story and a little bit of context. I'm a storyteller by nature, and so just want to kind of give you all an idea of where this came from and how it got brainchilded its way to us now. And so this contest is something that has been talked about at KDE way before now, but the idea has kept resurfacing as we considered how to elevate student voice in our statewide attendance efforts. And so this summer's launch of our You Belong Kentucky Attendance Matters campaign provided us the perfect timing. And so that's kind of when it started sparking a little bit more ground. And then the Commissioner Student Advisory Council meeting in October, really kind of the whisper in the back turned into a conversation and now a roar, if you will. And so we are excited to present to you our You Belong Kentucky Attendance Matters video and poster contest that is student-led. The goal is simple: to let students tell us in their own words and images what belonging looks like and why showing up matters in school. And so in collaboration across multiple KDE divisions and our STLP, near and dear to my heart, we are excited to launch this with you all today. Next slide, please. And so what we're hoping students will create, we have 2 tracks that we're offering. So the video track, students will create a 15 to 30-second video showing what belonging feels like, looks like in their school communities, and why it's important to show up, why attendance matters. For the poster track, students are going to be able to design a 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 17 digital poster that's highlighting belonging and attendance messaging. And this contest is open to all K through 12 students, individuals, groups, or entire classes. And each district will select one final video and or poster per grade band that we have to then submit to us. Next slide, please. As far as judging goes, we are really leaning into STLP rubrics and just different development with this contest. And so we are encouraging a district level review where you all will establish your own judging panel. It can be comprised of, again, superintendents, we hope, FRIS, teachers, community, family members. Just really want you all to be able to facilitate conversations on your panel that reflect, again, your community and school voices. Schools will submit entries locally, so you all will be the first line of defense, if you will. And so in each grade band, K through 5, 6 through 8, and 9 through 12, you all will select one video and or poster per grade, and then submit those to us by March 13th. And there's going to be a slide ahead that has more deadlines, so I'll kind of skip through that part. And then from there, we will have a panel review at the KDE level using learning co-ops, different things like different partners like that to establish our first and second place selected for each grade band and track. All entries could be amplified in future KDE campaigns and resources. And the best part of this, other than hearing from our students, is that our student winners are going to be recognized live on our STLP State Championship main stage on April 24th. It is a huge platform to showcase our students' creativity and their voices. Next slide, please. Why this matters. I like to counter with why not. We know from research and from lived experience that our students who feel connected are going to show up and attend school more regularly. Belonging is known through CDC, grad partnership, one of the strongest protective factors against combating chronic absenteeism. And so we're hoping that this contest inspires and helps reinforce the message through student voice, using their own stories, their own languages, and their real experiences of connection in school communities. It also aligns deeply with our statewide work around attendance, re-engagement, and school connectedness. Next slide, please. Key dates. All right, so contest launch is today with you all. We met with our Student Advisory Council on Tuesday and also shared this, but it officially launches today, this moment. Our registration deadline is February 13th. So we encourage, it is a challenge by choice. This is a voluntary opportunity, but we do hope that you feel the vibrant learning experience that this could be, which only reinforces what we are trying to continue to spread across the Commonwealth. District submission deadline. So after that, February 13th, you all will have your internal submissions to you by March 13th, and then a 2-week turnaround to us by the 27th of March. And then we will contact districts to notify winners ahead of the STLP state championship, because we want to bring the winners, district representatives, families to the main stage on April 24th at the championship. Next slide, please. We have been editing and revising and creating and brainstorming a really awesome launch packet that is student facing. We hope that students quite literally take it and run with it. And so there's a full launch packet that'll have the rules, the rubrics for both the video track and the poster track, as well as submission steps, where you'll submit your videos, how you'll submit posters, and then access to current You Belong Kentucky Attendance Matters posters and messaging. If you type in your internet browser right now, KDE Chronic Absenteeism or KDE Attendance Matters, you will get to our website and see all of our cool toolkits and templates that we hope inspire students to then replicate that and make it their own in your communities. There will also be clear guidance on just the use of AI and proper source crediting. We know that we are in technology boom right now. And so what better opportunity than to allow our students to use AI if they so choose to help them create some of these materials. And then, of course, support from both us at KDE and our STLP teams and personnel for questions, communication, any troubleshooting along the way. Everything we hope is designed to make this truly a turnkey opportunity that you all can truly put in the hands of your students, and they can launch and run with it right away with the help of some adult advisors, because we know that if we think about kindergartners taking this and running with it, just to have some guidance. Next slide, please. The heart of this contest is just reinforcing our very simple truth that we're all aware of. Our students show up when they feel seen, when they feel known, and when they feel like they hold value with their peers, with their staff, and their school communities. And so we really hope that this feels like it's giving our students real ownership opportunities in shaping our You Belong Kentucky narrative in communities, and then providing you all with real, authentic, student-created resources that support your attendance work and your connectedness in your districts. Next slide, please. This, if you haven't seen this, this is our commercial that kind of started this. It is a culmination of what we started this summer. And then do want to shout out to Casey County for being part of this inspiration in this replication for our Student Forward contest. I'll go ahead and let you play it if you don't mind.
Well, actually, my computer
that's
is
okay.
not sharing audio right now. So
That's okay.
sorry about that technological hiccup, but we do have this is front and center on the You Belong Attendance Matters page on KDE's website. It's on our social media channels. You can find it pretty easily. You can find it on our YouTube channel as well.
Thank you. I will just close out with, we hope that you all choose to participate in the You Belong Kentucky Attendance Matters contest, because it really is a powerful opportunity to, again, enhance and amplify our student voices, to lift up stories of connection and belonging in your schools, and just reinforcing time after time the importance of attendance matters because our students matter. So thank you so much for your time and continued leadership. I look forward to the Q&A at the end.
Thanks, Ashley. We're really excited about the opportunity, and just to reemphasize, the communications group here at KDE, we will be sharing on our social media channels some of the entries. So we're really excited to be able to showcase student work. And Commissioner, we are back to you in Q&As.
Hey, do we have any questions and answers, or we have answers? Do we have questions in the queue?
No, sir. There are no questions.
Okay. Before I close with some important dates, just a few things to, as one of the things to remind everyone is we're heading into the legislative session where there are a lot of conversations on the new accountability model. Also, too, a lot of conversations on funding and other issues that are important to our districts. It is very important, very, very important for people to make sure that you meet with your legislators, to talk with them about key issues that are going on in your districts. Also, if you like for our help, we'll be happy to do that. But again, I would appreciate if each of you, if you have the opportunity to reach out to your legislators to talk to them about the accountability proposal that we've put out there. Again, if you have any questions for me personally, you're more welcome to give me a call. There are a lot of great conversations about the new accountability model. I'm not saying that we'll get every part of that. I hope we do. But again, some great conversations are going on. And I can tell you, every time I talk to legislators, well, let's say at least 90% of the time when I talk to legislators, one of the very first questions they ask me is, what are our superintendents saying? So it's important for them to hear from you on different topics and different issues. And I don't have to tell you that. I will say, as a superintendent, it did take me about 2 to 3 years before I realized how powerful my voice could be as a superintendent. So again, those conversations are very important. And if there's anyone I can help you to connect with, don't hesitate to call. Dr. Brian Perry in our office does a great job of connecting me and connecting others with legislators. So if we can help you in any way, just let us know, give us a call, and we'll do that as best we can. As far as important dates, we do have the Educational and Professional Standards Board. We'll be meeting on December 16th. We will be closed here at KDE on December 25th and 26th for Christmas holidays, and also on New Year's Day and the day after on January 1st and 2nd. The Kentucky Board of Education will be a virtual meeting. If you don't know, typically the board, we have in-person meetings on even months, and we go through our consent agenda, our action items, things of that nature. But in January, we are adding a virtual meeting as a learning agenda. As many of you throughout the Commonwealth have, many of you have a working session with your board members. We're going to have an opportunity to have learning sessions for our board members. We have, I think coming up, we have everything from state testing results, how our state testing works. We also have an in-depth conversation with our board members about SEEK. So again, if you're interested in those learning agendas, please look on our postings to see what what's on the agenda for those virtual Kentucky Board of Education meetings. And those will happen. The very first one will be in January and will happen on odd months. Again, the even months are our quote unquote regular business meetings, and then we'll have those opportunities for learning on the odd months. Our next Superintendent's Webcast is January 13th, and our Kentucky United We Learn Council will be meeting in person on January 23rd. And from all of us here at the department, we wish you the absolute best. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We hope you have a restful time over the next few weeks with family and friends, and we wish you the absolute best. Be safe. Watch out for the weather over the next few weeks. Look like it's going to be a rough time for a few weeks, or at least for a few days. We wish you the absolute best. Stay safe. And as always, we appreciate your being all in.